The threat landscape has evolved. Attackers now weaponize our development tools against us, turning trusted infrastructure into a primary vector. The 2020 SolarWinds incident exposed the massive scale of modern supply chain vulnerability. This is the Cascading Compromise. Exploiting a single upstream software vendor exponentially amplifies an attacker's reach across thousands of downstream targets. We saw the first publicly reported cascade when attackers breached trading technologies, which directly enabled the subsequent compromise of 3CX. These operations succeed by hijacking trusted, privileged update channels. Because software management tools require elevated system privileges to function, subverting them allows threats to bypass traditional perimeter defenses entirely. The Russian Foreign Intelligence Service targeted JetBrains' TeamCity servers to infiltrate the foundation where software is written and compiled. By exploiting CVE 2023-42793, these actors gained unauthorized access directly into continuous integration and continuous deployment, or CI/CD, build pipelines. Look at this model. If attackers acquire a developer's source code and signing certificates, the TeamCity server begins authenticating malicious code. The SVR uses this stolen infrastructure to subvert the compilation process itself, silently packaging backdoors and deploying them to global clients. Compromising the CI/CD pipeline breaks the chain of trust at its source. A developer's own infrastructure becomes the distribution weapon. To understand the exact execution mechanics of a cascading payload, we can examine the Revil Syndicate's attack on Kaseya VSA. Kaseya is network management software. Its standard updates inherently execute with system-level privileges on client machines. This diagram shows the initial delivery. Revil pushed a malicious hotfix and automatically created a local directory containing two files, agent.txt and agent.crt. Once the hotfix writes to the disk, it triggers a highly complex PowerShell preparation script. The first phase of the script systematically blinds the host. It executes a command to disable Windows Defender's real-time monitoring. Subsequent flags in the same command disable intrusion prevention systems, live script scanning, and cloud auto-submission. For the final preparation step, the script uses the Windows built-in certutil command to decrypt the malicious payload certificate. By living off the land and executing scripts within a trusted update process, attackers render standard endpoint detection completely blind to the infection. With the environment prepped, the attacker must execute the ransomware payload without triggering behavioral alarms. Revil achieved this by overwriting the host's msmpeng.exe file with an outdated, vulnerable, but legitimate Microsoft binary. This flowchart illustrates the vulnerability. The outdated Microsoft binary calls for a dependency, but accepts a spoofed, malicious DLL. The Soda-Nakobe encryptor is sideloaded, executing as a high-privilege service beneath a trusted Microsoft process tree. To prevent the ransomware from executing multiple times on the same host and crashing it, the payload uses specific mutexes, named Black Lives Matter and dTrump Forever. The ransomware then intentionally disables volume shadow copy backups and severs all command and control communications to ensure maximum encryption speed. By cloaking a malicious payload inside a cryptographically signed, trusted host process, the attackers completely bypass both behavioral analysis and signature-based defenses. These precisely engineered micro-level exploits inevitably trigger massive macro-level fallout. In the trading technologies cascade, the initial breach successfully injected veiled signal malware deep into the 3CX desktop application. Similarly, the Kaseya compromise rapidly trickled down through managed service providers to hit hundreds of downstream businesses. The motivations differ. The SVR engineers quiet, long-term persistence for espionage, while Revil automates noisy, immediate financial extortion. The Revil encryption event paralyzed thousands of events point-bully in a matter of hours. A single unmitigated vulnerability at the top of a software supply chain inherently results in exponentially scaled destruction downstream, regardless of the attacker's ultimate motive. Structural security must be integrated directly into the software development lifecycle, establishing protective controls within the internal build architecture. This diagram shows a 4-stage SDLC pipeline. The NIST Special Publication 800-161 provides the definitive framework for supply chain risk management across these stages. Implementing dependency analysis at the design and build stages is required to catch tainted upstream components. Rigorous dependency checking of third-party libraries would have identified and blocked the compromised components used in the trading technologies vector before they entered the build. Organizations must also deploy continuous automated monitoring to secure the build environments themselves. This 24/7 surveillance is the critical defense needed to detect anomalies and prevent a CI/CD hijacking similar to the JetBrains TeamCity breach. Zero-trust architectures must be enforced across the pipeline, requiring continuous validation for every software component and user identity. Treating the internal CI/CD pipeline as a hostile environment is the only reliable way to prevent threat actors from inserting themselves into the software distribution mechanism. The final defense barrier before the software reaches the end user is the distribution phase. As this visualization shows, there is a strict mandate for cryptographic hash verification on all outgoing and incoming software packages. Secure code signing cryptographically proves that the software has not been tampered with post-compilation. The unique hash must perfectly match the recipient's verification key. If strict hash verification policies were enforced during the Kaseya breach, systems would have immediately detected the altered MS-MPNG payload before execution. The threat landscape is unforgiving. State-sponsored actors will continue aggressively targeting these architectural weak points. Security controls must reside within the source code, evolving continuously as an iterative, architectural requirement of the software development process. Implicit trust is a critical vulnerability. A compromise anywhere in the software lifecycle is a compromise everywhere.